the peace will happen because of orderliness. Is that essentially the gist of it? India has been a magnificent chaos, always, not today, always. Each person doing his own thing, everybody thinks he's a genius by himself, all right? And in the same house, 5 different people are worshipping 25 different gods. There is no order in anything, but there has been peace. In many ways, if you look back on the history of various regions of the planet, we've been probably the most peaceful people on the planet. This is not because of orderliness. This is because unless you can keep your mind peaceful, how can you keep your home peaceful, town peaceful, world peaceful? If your mind is in turmoil, everything is orderly, something crazy will happen. Something really crazy will happen. So people always ask me, Sadhguru, you're saying India is such a spiritual land, particularly when I'm traveling outside the country, but see, they're in such poverty, this, that. I tell them, you just come and see in India. For example, where our ashram is in Tamil Nadu, about 12 kilometers from the ashram there is a police station. Now they've upgraded it to 11 policemen. Earlier, all these years it used to be 8 policemen. At any time, 3 or 4 will be on the leave. 1 sub-inspector and 12 policemen now. 3-4 will always be on leave. They have no vehicles. The sub-inspector has his own private Hero Honda. The others have bicycles. If you say a murder has happened, they will ask, should I really come? Anyway, the man is dead. Bring him here. I'm saying there's really no law enforcement. And people are not living in great comfort or something, they're living basic lives in the village. Ashram is there is another university, cars are going up and down, people are driving Mercedeses, BMWs up and down. These people are living in abject poverty. Nobody ever jumps on these people, kills them, takes what they have. It never happens. This is spirituality. If you remove the police in New York City for 3 days, whatever happens, in 2.5 to 3 minutes the police are there, armed police, not just police, always armed police. In spite of that, so much happens. You remove the police for 3 days in New York City, you will see what havoc will happen. So now peace is a consequence of how we are within ourselves. The essential fundamental of this culture has been simple aspects or simple tools of yoga have been introduced to every human being. How to sit, when you eat, how you should sit. When you do your puja, how you must sit. If you receive, how you must receive. If you give, how you must give. For everything there is an asana, a mudra, a particular pattern, even breath patterns were given for different activities, how to do. This is a distorted version of yoga which has happened over many millennia. Initially, proper yoga was taught to every human being at one time. Over millennia, because of invasions and various things, corrections did not happen. So distorted versions of yoga are happening. Even today, at least 70% of the Indians, without knowing what is yoga, they're practicing some simple form, at least the way they stand, the way they sit, they're doing some yoga. And this has made the difference, because your minds are peaceful, society is peaceful. Because what you call a society or the world is a larger manifestation of the human mind. If you do not know how to keep yourself peaceful, world peace, world peace. I've been to all those international peace conferences many times and I decided not to go about 6 years ago anymore because it's just talking shops. World peace, speeches are given and some people are bringing 50-page speech and reading it. Peace happens because everybody falls asleep. So I was in a World Peace Conference like this in Puerto Rico, and there are over 30 Nobel laureates. So all of them, they're talking about world peace, world peace, world peace. I just asked them a simple question. How many of you can put your hand on your heart and say that you are peaceful in your mind? If you don't know how to keep your mind peaceful, please don't talk about world peace. And this peace being the highest goal is essentially come to us from outside. We never thought this a big thing because to be peaceful is not the ultimate goal of your life. Today unfortunately, even in India, even the so-called spiritual leaders are talking about peace of mind as the highest goal. Such people will only rest in peace. Because if you want to enjoy your dinner today, you must at least be peaceful, isn't it? Yes? If you want to enjoy the company of your family, at least you must be peaceful. If you're not joyful, at least peaceful. If you want to enjoy the work that you're doing, you must be peaceful. Tell me, is this a fundamental requirement or is it the final goal of your life? It is the most fundamental requirement. Every animal is capable of this. As soon as their stomach is full, they sit there peacefully. Even a buffalo is able to do it. What is the problem with the human being? Because you have an intelligence that you do not know how to manage, that's your problem, isn't it? The problem is, you have an intelligence that you do not know how to manage. You do not know how to manage, as I said to the lady, that you have not read the user's manual. You've not paid attention to this one. That is the main problem. All kinds of things, whatever you're deprived of, rises to heaven. This happened to me. I was to speak in Tel Aviv a few years ago, and I'm flying from Atlanta and flights are late. I'm to land there in the morning and speak at 6:30 in the evening, but I land there at 6 in the evening. So I quickly change in the airport and rush to the thing, because in these 33 years I have not been late to a single appointment yet. I don't want to break that. So I rush to the place, and I have been flying an American airline, so there's nothing edible on the plane, so I'm famished. And when I go there, I find that the venue of the talk is a restaurant. Life can't be better, isn't it? So I'm happy that it's a restaurant, at least you can smell the food. I have not eaten since early morning or the previous day. So I went there and people are already coming in and they're greeting me. One man comes and says, "Shalom." I asked him, "What does it mean?" He says, "This is the highest way of greeting." I said, "That's your opinion, but what does it mean?" He says, "No, this is the highest way of greeting." All right, what does the word mean? He says, "It means peace." Then I said, "Why would peace be the highest way of greeting unless you're born in Middle East?" In South India, if you come up to me in the morning and say, "Peace," I will say, "What's wrong with you? What's the matter today?" So whatever you're deprived of will become the highest thing. Please don't make it the highest thing. Peace is not the highest goal. Happiness is not the highest goal. All these things, as a little child you were capable of it, isn't it so? Yes? This is not something that you achieve at the end of your life. This was the square one of your life. Unfortunately, most lives have moved backward, not forward. So, peace will come from orderliness? No. When people are peaceful, they can be any way and still be okay. When people are violent, order is needed. I must tell you this, one of the Kennedys, you know the Kennedy family, came to the ashram and they stayed for a month or so. Then he is a mad, passionate driver. He wants to drive. I said, "If you drive, you will kill Indian people, because many of them are checking their horoscopes every day on the street. Because their astrologer has told them you will live for 85 years, they want to check on the street. So they'll suddenly walk in, they'll suddenly fall under your wheels. You're supposed to do something and prove his horoscope right. So I said, "This is not for you, this is not like America, just gassing up and going. This is different, you don't drive." He said, "No, Sadhguru, I want to drive." Then we put an escort car for him and behind this car you drive. So he thoroughly enjoyed, he drove to Kerala, he drove to Goa, he went to Gujarat, Rajasthan, and then he left. When I went to America, there was a Robert Kennedy 25th anniversary event where I went. So I asked him, what was your experience of driving in India? Sadhguru, people are so peaceful. In America, everybody is in a rage, which is true. Everything is in order. If little go off the order, people will burst. Do you understand? The emotions will burst on the street just like that. Here, everybody is trying to get under your wheel. Still you are not because mind is peaceful, largely, outside is peaceful, not because of the order. But we will lose this. We will lose this in the coming years if we don't do the necessary work. We are still eating old food. What work was done in the previous generations, we are still enjoying. Now if we don't do the necessary work, next generations will not have the same thing. So is peace equivalent to order? Not at all.